ووصينا الإنسان بوالديه إحسانا حملته أمه كرها ووضعته كرها وحمله وفصاله 30 شهرا حتى إذا بلغ أشده وبلغ 40 سنة قال رب أوزعني أن أشكر نعمتك التي أنعمت علي وعلى والدي وأن أعمل صالحا ترضاه إني تبت إليك وإني من المسلمين أولئك الذين نتقبل عنهم أحسن ما عملوا ونتجاوز عن سيئاتهم في أصحاب الجنة ونتجاوز عن سيئاتهم في أصحاب الجنة وعد الصدق الذي كانوا يوعدون صدق الله العلي العظيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. Inshallah, we'll proceed with the lecture by our respected guest scholar, Sayyid Hadi Yassin, who requires no introduction in our community. Inshallah, with a salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد وعجل فرجهم وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة لأعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. May Allah inshallah bless you all, and I pray that He will accept all of our amal, our du'as, our azaf for Ahlul Bayt inshallah. Our condolences on this sad day and event and eve of the shahadat of our beloved Imam Jawad alayhi salatu wassalam, first and foremost to Imam al-Zaman, Imam of Asr, Imam Mahdi alayhi salatu wassalam, and to you all mu'mineen and mu'minat. May Allah inshallah give us tawfiq to be able to be among the true followers of our Ahlul Bayt, specifically Imam Jawad inshallah, and let us be with them in dunya wal akhirah. It's an honor for me once again be with the community of the Lady Fatima Center May Allah inshallah bless you all and let us be with Ahlul Bayt inshallah in dunya wal akhirah. We have the tawfiq and opportunity as the followers of Islam and the followers of Ahlul Bayt to always tie not only inshallah our a'mal and our actions with the life and actions of Ahlul Bayt, but inshallah even our feelings, our behaviors as well. Very interesting, because sometimes you might follow a role model in actions. Our youth, others, they might have a role model ourselves. We might follow them in action, how they became successful. But when it comes to their feelings, we might not have any tie with them. It's interesting that the tie with Ahlul Bayt, the relationship with Ahlul Bayt, it is a divine relationship. That's why they said the true Shia of us, there are those that يَحْزَنُونَ لِحُزْنِنَا وَيَفْرَحُونَ لِفَرَحِنَا. Even the feelings depends on our feelings. When we are happy, they're happy. When we are sad, they're sad. How strong is this connection and bond between the followers of Ahlul Bayt and Ahlul Bayt? And this feeling and this connection is not given to us blindly, or we did not got it, blindly. No, it's something that based on experience, based on knowledge, based on research, inshallah, Shia received this by looking and studying the lifestyle of Ahlul Bayt, by looking at them as being the best of Allah's servant on the earth, before, today, and forever, as it is the fact. Imam Jawad alayhi salatu wasalam, his life is full of teachings and lessons and full of ma'arif for the followers of Ahlul Bayt. Jawad means generous, means the one who gives a lot, who, inshallah, today, if those they have hajat, it's the time that they have hajat, is inshallah, ask Allah for the sake of Imam Jawad, or ask Imam Jawad to ask Allah for their hajat. This Imam, that is the generous Imam, the Jawad, inshallah, will give them their hajat. Sometimes we question, brothers and sisters, the followers of Ahlul Bayt at the time of Ahlul Bayt. I'm talking about over 1,000 years ago. Why people of Kufa did this? Why people of Medina did this? Why people of here did this? Samara did this? Sometimes we forget and neglected about the fact that we're in the same situation. We're exactly at the same situation. They had their Imam, we have our Imam. They had responsibilities towards their Imam. We have responsibilities towards our Imam as well. It's just a matter of we see ourselves in the same situation as the people of Kufa were waiting for their Imam. We're waiting for our Imam as well. Let's review and dissect the lifestyle of our Imam Jawad alayhi salatu wasalam to get lessons from this full of barakat and blessings life of Imam Jawad, although it was very short life. He was 6 or 7 years old when he became Imam after Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam, and he was around 25 years old when they made him Shaheed. Very short life, you see that. But this short life is full of blessings and full of rahmat for the whole ummah of Islam and followers Ahlul Bayt and Shia. Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam couldn't have any son until 47 years of life. You see that it's an older age, until 47 of life. And many of even the Shia of that time, including the 7 Imams, Waqifiyah, that they believed Imam Rida is not an Imam. Why? Because he doesn't have a son. And we believe that Imam should have son and then continue this generation and this path. So Imam Rida didn't have son until then, but he introduced himself, the birth of Imam Jawad, as the most blessing, event for Shia up until then. When Imam Jawad was born, Imam Rida says, يُفَرَّقْ بَيْنَ الْحَقِّ وَالْبَاطِلِ. With your birth, you divided between haqq and batil. You showed haqq and batil. Why? Because those people who were condemning Imam Rida alayhi making na'uzubillah, accusation about Imam Rida alayhi they should be, and they were quiet because of the life of Imam Jawad, although some others, they find other excuses that we're going to talk about it. So that's why Imam Rida said it's the most blessed, birth that ever happened in the Shia of history of Shia. It's very interesting. In the history of Shia, the birth of Imam Jawad, as you see that, like I said, group of people, they didn't continue the Imam. They didn't believe about the Imamat of Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam because of that. Even after that, many people were questioning and asking, how is it even possible a 7-year-old become an Imam? This is the first test in the whole Shia history that happened, that an Imam is a child, a 7-year-old. The first test. When you look at the history of Anbiya, you see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped him to evolve the history. So people can get ready for Imams, to get ready for the Nabuwwat of Anbiya or the Rasalat of Anbiya. This the same for the Ahlul Bayt, the history of Ahlul Bayt. At the time of Amir al-Mu'mineen, then Imam Hassan, then Imam Hussein, Shia got tested by these 3 Imam. Then after Ashura, how Shia became tested after that, until the time of Imam Jawad alayhi salatu wasalam. Another big test that the child is going to be the Imam of people. You know what is the Imam? We're going to talk about it. Group of Shia were doing the Matam and Azadari after the Shahadat of Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam. Yunus ibn Abdul Rahman, Muhammad ibn Hakim, and others were there. So at that time, one of them said, Yunus ibn Rahman said, forget about Azadari for Imam Rida. Let's stand up, let's choose who is going to be the leader and the Imam of Ummah until this child, he was referring to Imam Jawad, he become older. So he can be the Imam. Then at that time, Rayyad ibn Salih stand up and he slapped Yunus ibn Abdul Rahman. He said, I thought you're a mu'min. What kind of mu'min are you that you don't know that Imamat, if the Imamat, we believe it comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is a divine position. If it's a divine position, doesn't matter if it's 1-year-old baby, 1-day-old baby, or 1-year-old baby or older. If it's not the divine, then older ones, they don't deserve and worthy of being the Imam as well. How you see that by these stories, there was division or there was disputes and argument even among the Shia, among the followers of Ahlul Bayt and Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam. Brothers and sisters, as I said, we have to look into our beliefs and aqa'id. We have to see and understand how we are, because we're the same position of people of that time. The problem of people of that time, brothers and sisters, was that their beliefs were not strong enough to defend their beliefs and aqa'id. The problem of people of Kufa, the same thing. They knew who is Imam. They knew Imam Hussein's position. Their belief system is so weak that as soon as the threat comes or bribery comes, or anything comes, they leave Imam Hussein alayhi salatu wasalam. Imam Zaman, Imam of our time, is in the same situation that he's waiting to come back. If the beliefs of Shia has issue, Imam is not going to come back. We have to strengthen our beliefs. When we talk about the position of Imam, brothers and sisters, we're talking about a very precious, very important position that, that only those people who deserve it will become Imam. And a divine position that we believe, a position that requires Imam to be the most knowledgeable person, the pious person, the person with the best values and the best and the bravest in the whole world. Imam of a time, because he's going to be the leader from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the guardian of Allah. He should be the best in all aspects and all categories that can be the guardian of people all around the world, right? Due to these unique qualities that Imam, we talk about infallible Imam Ma'soom, he should have, this person should be not only the religious leader, should be the political leader, should be a leader would help people spiritually as well to get connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's the source of ma'naviyyat and ilahi source for people as well. And all the affairs of people depends on the decision and the guardianship and leadership of this Imam. The reason I said that, because it's a lot of responsibility, heavy responsibility. If you look today, someone who is the Imam of a center, Imam of a society, Imam of a masjid, there should be experience. The age matters here. Usually, for example, our maraja, at what age they became marja, or they become marja? At the later ages of life, right? 70, 60, 70, 80, above, they are the leader of the society, for example. Then this position, heavy position of infallible Imam, the guardianship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doesn't it need the age? Doesn't it need, experience? How is it possible? How is it possible that Shia believe that a 7-year-old, 6 or 7-year-old will become Imam? And brothers and sisters, I want you for a second think about it. We have to discuss, we have to strengthen our aqa'id. When it comes to the shahadat of Imam, viladat of Imam, doesn't matter. We are getting together to learn about the ma'arif of Imam while we are what? While we are mourning for the aza of Imam, while we're celebrating the viladat of Imam, but we're going to learn at the same time. We want to have basira and intuition when it comes to the life of Ahlul Bayt. That's why Shia is distinguished, different than any other sects all around the world or other maktab or madhab. So we're going to talk about different topics here. Number one, how can Imam be a child? How is it even possible that Imam be a child? Second, are there any other examples that a child will be or became the leader and Imam? How is it even possible of Ummah? And why is it so important that we believe in this? So inshallah, we strengthen our baqa'id and beliefs with the barakat of life of Imam Jawad alayhi salatu wassalam. Inshallah, if you recite loud salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Among infallible Imams that we have, 12 Imams, 3 of them became Imam at the younger ages. First one is Imam Jawad alayhi salatu wassalam at the age of 6 or 7. Then Imam Hadi alayhi salatu wassalam, different narrations such as 9-year-old or younger. And then we see Imam Zaman, Imam Mahdi alayhi salatu wassalam, became Imam at the age of 5. 3 of our Imams, they had the same situation that they were young, they became Imam. At the time of Imam Rizal alayhi salatu wassalam, when he introduced his 6 or 7-year-old son, Imam Jawad, as the Imam after himself, when people ask who is going to be Imam, it says Imam Jawad alayhi salatu wassalam. Many people had this doubt and question. We're going to talk in details on history. Many people had that doubt and question. How is it possible a child at this age become Imam? Usually the wisdom in human beings start at the age of bulugh, 15-year-old, or for girls younger, and reaches the highest level at the age of 40. Bulugh aql, maturity of aql, is at the age of 40. That's why you see that, for example, Imam Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam at that age become Rasul. Many of our prophets at that age they became the prophet and Rasul. Quran talks about the number 40. Even about Yusuf, about other prophets at the age of 40, this hikmah sometimes that Quran talks about it. Is it possible someone at the age of 7 achieve knowledge to be the most knowledgeable one at his time? To be the most pious person at his time, to be the most experienced one at the time. Because when we talk about Imam, he has the position and authority over life of Imam more than themselves, as Shia believe. Is it even possible? Brothers and sisters, I want you for a second, close your eyes, imagine the situation. Today, you are a Shia, they talk to you and they tell you you're Imam, that you have to, no matter what, listen to him unconditionally. He's 6-year-old or 7-year-old. What will be your position? How would you think about it? Now you see how many times Shia were tested, Shia with different situation and fitna and time, until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through the path of Ahlul Bayt, strengthen this path. That today, at the time of Imam Zaman, me and you, we strongly believe in the path of 12 Imams and 14 Masumin. That's how we got to us. That's how we received it through the history. But I want you to think about, what would you do if they come to you and it says 7-year-old? First of all, can you defend it? Imagine someone comes to you, how is it possible you're going to give your affairs and all life to the decision of a 7-year-old, 6-year-old? Is it even possible? That's number one. Second, how do you look at it internally? Third, how do you feel about this, ilahi-wise, and how do you look at it as divine perspective? How important is this topic, brothers and sisters, that we see ourselves the same way we talked about it. We put ourselves in the shoes of people of Kufa. If we are there, people are threatening us, people are killing us, how will we feel about it? We see today. The same that group of people came with Imam Hussein from Mecca to Medina towards Kufa. They left Imam Hussein in the middle of the way as soon as they realized they're not going to get any money, any position from Imam Hussein. And this is the path of Shahada. They left Imam Hussein. Many people today, they might be quote unquote Muslim or Shia for benefits. As long as it doesn't hurt them, their dunya, their Shia. They come to masjid, they come to a situation, they pay, as long as it doesn't hurt their business. So if I want to choose between Thursday night dua kumail or Muharram or Safar or something and my business, so if I have time, nothing, then inshallah. Talk to his wife, don't we have anything else to do? No movie, no party, nothing else? Then let's go to masjid. Let's listen to a lecture. Not give that much value to Islam and to beliefs. Then they want to say why our children are dealing with issues and problems. And that's our responsibility, brothers and sisters. The reason I'm bringing this topic up is that for the self-reflection. I want us to believe in this. I want us to review our beliefs. So that's why if that happens in our life, you're waiting for your Imam, for example, they bring your Imam 7-year-old, 6-year-old. How would you react? We have 90-year-old in the society. We have 45 years old, very rich, very professional, very ma'navi, mashallah, people, the Imam of this center, the Imam of that center. We had a lot of people among the Buzurgan and among the greatest Sahabi of Ahlul Bayt, companion of Ahlul Bayt. Many of them were faqih at that time. How is it even possible that they believe a 7-year-old come? And this is the way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tests the community. I'm going to give the answer through two different directions. One with dalil and al-dalil al-naqli, with narrative, dalil and proofs that we have. Second, intellectual and aqli, that we're going to talk about it. How is it even possible that Imam at that age become Imam? So let's dissect it. Shia believe, as we said, this is a divine position. The divine position that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He Himself pick and chose who is going to be Imam, based on His hikmah and wisdom that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has. It's not a position a person should choose, or it's not an acquisitive position that people would choose it, or jama'ah would choose it, or a group of people get together in Saqifa and says who is going to be the Imam. No. This is a position that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He chose Himself. Who is going to be the Nabi and who is going to be the successor of the Prophet and Nabi. Although age is one of the factors of expecting maturity in ordinary people. Yeah, with age comes maturity, with age comes, experience, of course. But when we believe that Imamat is not optional, then the age doesn't matter here. We believe that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would bestow this to whoever He wants. The number of age, the number of years that the person lives in this dunya doesn't matter anymore. Doesn't matter anymore. If the Imamat is like other position, yes. If the Imamat is something that I have to go to school to learn, if it's something that I have to go to ustad and learn, a teacher learn, yes, the age is very important. You're right. Those people who have dispute, they're right. But if Imamat doesn't come with the number of years you go to school, if Imamat doesn't come with the number of years you experience in this dunya, khata and issue you had in life, you yourself, brothers and sisters, at whatever age you are, half of your experience is based on khata and mistakes that you have. You made a mistake, you sold that property, today you're very careful, we made a mistake, we lost a lot of money. You sold that card. Anything else, that major, anything else, based on khata and mistakes you learn, is the position of Imamat. So Imam goes and make a mistake and mistake and mistake until he learns to be. No. Is the position of prophethood and nubuwwat. So Imam nubuwwat comes, Jibreel comes, give the, a wahy, and the Prophet, na'uzubillah, makes a mistake and says, I learned I shouldn't make a mistake. The deen is already destroyed and damaged. No. Allah chose some people from the beginning, immaculate, pure from any khata, any mistake, to be able to do the job as perfect as possible. Bismillah ar-Rahman. Innama yuridullah liyudhhiba ankum ar-rijsa ahlal bayt wa yutahhirakum tatheera. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala alihi. You're away from Ahlul Bayt, away from any issues, impurity, dirt, filth, anything. And Allah, innama adat al-hasr, He Himself wanted other people who are pure because of Ahlul Bayt. Only Ahlul Bayt are the ones Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He Himself wanted to purify them. Subhanallah. Then if this is the, yes, if it's the position that people should learn and acquire, then age is very important. But based on the divine and ilahi inside, a child can have these attributes and doesn't matter how many years he was living in this dunya. And everybody should follow him. Second dalil I want to bring. Who said that the maturity and aql come with age? Bismillah, prove it to us. Who said maturity comes with age? No, doesn't come. You want example? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allah told him, now you have to invite people, da'wat ashikar, you have to invite people to Islam. He invited a group of his family members, his uncles, the buzurgan and the big names in Quraysh at that time, his family, he invited them, Abu Lahab, Abu Jah. And then he said, وَأَنْذَرْ أَشِيرَتْكَ الْأَقْرَبِينَ. Now you have to go invite them, do inzar as well, to your family to Islam, and invite them to Islam. They're all among the older ones. Some of them, many of them are older than Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There's only one child among them, either 9 or 13-year-old, Amir al-Mu'minin, Imam alayhi salatu wasalam. Rasulullah, he proposed Islam to everyone. This is Islam, I want you to choose it. This is what I brought for you. And you are going to, the one who accepted is going to be my true successor after me. None of them accepted. My question to you, is offering Islam the most important and valuable offer that someone can ever receive in his life or her life? Absolutely, to be Muslim in the right path. Is the age is matter to accept this? No, because the eldest one over there, they didn't accept it. The youngest one, which is Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salatu wasalam, who accepted. Then if it comes, wisdom and maturity comes with age, how come those older ones didn't accept the mission of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? And how come a young child accepted that? And after 3 times Rasulullah, he told them that Ali is going to be my true successor at that time. So you see that maturity doesn't come with age, right? Amir al-Mu'minin shows he is the most qualified one among all the elder ones. Not because of the age, not because of he went to school, because of the divine maturity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave to this Imam, Amir al-Mu'minin alayhi salatu wassalam. He was the only one who believed in Allah, the only one who believed in Rasulullah, the only one who believed in the mission of Rasulullah, and he understood him better than anyone else. So maturity doesn't come with age. Imam Jawad, he used the same logical reasonings, by the way, for his own Imamat, the Imamat of that person. That's why many people at that time came to Imam Jawad, questioning a lot of scientific questions, a lot of Islamic questions, a lot of Shari'i and Ahkam question. You heard about it. The guy came in front of Ma'mun Mal'un. May Allah curse him. He came and he asked Imam Jawad, he wanted to, make fun of Imam Jawad that he's young, he doesn't know the Ahkam. He asked a question, Hukm Shari'i, about Hajj, for example. If I killed, for example, an animal, what will be the hukm of that, the kafara and expiation of that? Imam Jawad, he talked in details. He answered in details. If the animal is this way, the hukm is that. Is this that way? It's going to be that way. He gave them a lot of shuquq and sections and portion of this question. The guy says, I'm submitted. I didn't even know that my simple question have this many answers into this. A lot of people came and asked Imam Jawad about different questions, scientific questions, and Shari and Ahkam. They got submitted that Imam, they believe and they confess that Imam is the Imam, because this knowledge, it's not possible that a child can have this, this amount of knowledge. So the second reason, the second category, we said intellectual. Inshallah, we're going to talk about it. Intellectual reasons. How is it even possible that Imam at that age become Imam? So age and maturity that comes with, age, for ordinary people, the maturity comes by age for ordinary people. That's, as we said, it's clear, right? But even among ordinary people, we have some people who were more knowledgeable and more mature than other ordinary people. Intellectual reasons, we're going to talk about it. They could understand better. They could memorize Quran faster. We have a 5-year-old, right? Many of you guys know him, for example. 5-year-old Hafiz Kull Quran. Now we have younger than them as well. 4 or 5 years old become Hafiz, memorize the whole Quran. Some of our older ones, they can't even, na'uzubillah, unfortunately, read from Quran, the page of Quran in front of them. A 4 or 5-year-old memorized the whole Quran. Of course, this person is ahead of other people. Intellectually, this person knows better than other people. Not only Quran, they memorize Nahj Balagha. Not only that, the poetry of this book, the book of poetry here and there, they are more intellectual and more smarter than other people, and intellectually ahead of other people as well. You know, among the ordinary people, not ma'asum, not chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Some example I want to give you. Allama Majlisi. He was young, he became mujtahid. Among some of the stories, they're saying, a group of people came to ask a question. They saw a child is on top of a tree, he's playing, with birds and stuff like that. They said, we're looking for Allama Majlisi. Where is he? He says, go to that room, he's going to come. They went and he saw that child came down and he went behind the desk. He said, where is the Allama Majlisi? He said, I'm Allama Majlisi. They couldn't believe it. This is your question here. Allama Majlisi himself, that he wrote one of his book, 110 volumes of Bahar al-Allah, right? Ibn Sina, Avicenna, look what he said. I did research about what he said. He said, when I was 10-year-old, I knew a lot about different sciences that people of the city were all amazed by my knowledge. At the age of 10. Imagine 10-year-old today, what they're doing. By video games and here and there playing. He said, at the age of 12, when I was 12-year-old, I gave fatwa and verdict. Subhanallah. This Muslim scholar and scientist. At the age of 12, I gave fatwa. At the age of 16, I wrote the book Qanun in Tib and Medicine. Subhanallah. 16. How old is a 16-year-old? He wrote a book, Qanun, that up until today, and God knows how long they studied this book and what he says. And he said, at the age of 24, I knew all the sciences at the time that I was living. Intellectually, it is possible. They're not even connected to Allah directly by Imamat, by Nubuwwat, nothing. Ordinary people, they were smarter than other people, right? Let alone Imam Jawad alayhi salatu wasalam, the beautiful, amazing, precious son of Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam. Let alone the generous and, this great generation of Imamat, this pure generation of Imamat that's one after another one is pure, the wahi, the knowledge, the same thing that goes to Khandan al-Wahi and the household of Amir al-Mu'minin Sayyid Zahra Salamul alayhim ajmain. The second topic that we said we're going to talk about, or the question, did it happen before Imam Jawad, or is something new that people were, amazed by that? Someone asked Imam Rida alayhi salatu wassalam that who is the next Imam? Imam Rida said Abu Ja'far. Abu Ja'far, Imam Jawad alayhi salatu wassalam. He said, my son. And the guy was surprised. The way that he looked at Imam Rida alayhi salatu wassalam, it looked like he's surprised. Imam Rida alayhi salatu wassalam, he looked at him and says, Isa ibn Maryam, Jesus, he was younger than Abu Ja'far. When he became a prophet, he was in his cradle. He was a baby. Imam Rida is saying. He became a prophet with Sharia. He had a new religion for people when he was few days old. According to Quran, we're going to talk about it, right? قال إني عبد الله آتاني الكتاب وجعلني نبيا. When he's not even 1 year old, few days old. And Imam said, he even talked at that age. Why you guys are surprised? A baby starts talking and mumbling at the 1 year old, right? He's few days old probably, and he's talking. قال إني عبد الله. What he's saying, it's so intellectual what he's saying that older one don't even understand. Atani al-kitab, he gave me the kitab, the holy book. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Isa is saying. وَجَعَلَنِي نَبِيًّا. A few days old says, I'm Nabi, I'm a prophet. So Imam says, is this more surprising or that is more surprising? My son is Jawad, Abu Ja'far, he's 6 or 7 year old. That happens before. And he's the Imam. When the resource is the same, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when manba' is the same, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doesn't matter who, when, where. It's the same divine path that comes. So there's no problem with that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Imam said, chose Abu Ja'far to be the Imam after me at this age. And Quran says about his he saw the same thing. So this is the divine position. Imam Jawad, he was with his a nanny, someone who was taking care of him. And he was thinking very deeply, Imam Jawad at that age, The nanny asked Imam Jawad, why are you thinking so deeply at this age? Imam Jawad said, let me tell you a story about Hazrat Isa and Jesus. He was sick when he was a kid, Jesus. And he told his mother that I'm sick, but the medicine that I need to take is this and that and that and that. Put them together, give it to me so I can eat, so I'll get better. The mother put it all together, Hazrat Maryam, and get it ready and gave it to Hazrat Isa. When he wanted to eat, he started crying. Hazrat Isa, he was a child. He started crying. The mother said, then you told me to make it, and now you're crying. Hazrat Isa says, Al-hukmu hukmu nubuwwah, wal-khilqatu khilqatu as-sibyan. The hukm that I told you, the prescription I gave you was the nubuwwah prescription, intellectual based on my being a prophet. But khilqah of this body, my jism, my physical body is the body of a kid. Cannot take that better, for example, medicine. Subhanallah, how beautifully and intellectually they were talking and proving their point. So, therefore, we see that the hukm, the nubuwwah, the imamat comes from where? Comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Doesn't matter a prophet, doesn't matter the imam, doesn't matter what. Doesn't matter Imam is in prison. Doesn't matter Imam is in occultation. Doesn't matter Imam is a child. That's what the enemies doesn't understand. The position in the maqam of Imam comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Harun, he wants to be accepted by Allah subhanahu. He wants to be the successor of, Hazrat Musa when he's living to, for his prophethood. For the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Kuhatur. Allah says, okay, I accept Harun to be yours. I accept Harun to be your assistant. And Harun is more important, or the Imam after Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How can a group of people get together things based on our understanding? We think this person who half of his life were not even Muslim in Jahiliyyah can be the Imam, right? Second, Imam Jawad, he told himself to Ali ibn Asbad that, God made hujjat and reason for imamat the same that he did for prophethood. Then he said the Surah Maryam ayah 12, Yahya khudh al-kitab biquwwah wa atayna al-hukma sabiyya. The story of Hazrat Yahya, Imam Jawad talk about it. And then Hazrat Yusuf, he said another example for Hazrat Yusuf, وَلَمَّا بَلَقَ أَشُدَّهُ آتَيْنَاهُ حُكْمًا وَعِلْمًا. Hazrat Yusuf, he was a child, he was a teenager when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave them this hikmah of ta'bir khab, ta'bir a dream. He could interpret the dream. He was little one. This is the maqam of imamat, brothers and sisters. When me and you would talk about we're waiting for our imam, we're waiting for who? Na'udhu billah, sometimes we are oppressing our imams but not knowing the reality of who are imam. Sometimes we read the traditions. If you visit the shrine of this imam, عارفاً بحقه, if you really know the ma'rifat of imam, who is imam, this irfan of imam, this ma'rifat of imam, it doesn't mean you just know. It's not that the name of imam, who is his mother, who is his father. Everybody can read this. No, the ma'rifat of imam, that means who is imam, who is the position of imam. What is my responsibility to this imam? And let me tell you this now and finish with this. What is our responsibility towards Imam Jawad? Our responsibility towards Imam Mahdi alayhi salatu wasalam. And that's it. We're living and we're happy life, mashallah. My car is parked over there. I have a house and bank account is mashallah full. Alhamdulillah, we're healthy and nothing. So now, inshallah, we're Muslim and Shia. Your knowledge, your strength, your fat path, your beliefs and aqidah shows itself in trouble, in turbulences. Chief of Kufa had turbulences of the Iman and they failed. People at the time of Imam Jawad, they had turbulences and fitna sometimes and tests and they failed it. Why the zuhur of Imam Mahdi is lengthening, is getting longer and longer. The reason of the ghaybat and occultation is Saqifa. We know that. Saqifa happened, that's why Imam is in occultation. We can talk about it later on. But why is it getting longer and longer? Because Shia should get ready. Shia is not ready yet. So that's the position I have to see. I have to look and see, how can we become ready? What can we do to be ready for the Imam of our time? This is our responsibility. This is what Imam Jawad wants from us. This amazing Imam, Mivedele Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam. Imam Rida, brothers and sisters, he had special attention to his son Imam Jawad alayhi salatu wasalam. Jawad al-Imam. This blessing Imam, this blessed birth of this Imam for the society, for the community, for Shia, for Islam. Imagine now our Imams with this position, with this divinity, with this knowledge and taqwa, how they treated our Imam. Ya Allah. السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة وموضع الرسالة ومختلف الملأ ومحبة الوحي ومعدن الرحمة خزان العلم منتهى الحلم أصول الكرم قادة الأمم. How they treated this Imam. Ya Allah, Imam Baqir alayhi salatu wassalam, the Jadd Imam Jawad said, if people at the time, if Rasulullah at his time, he ordered people to be against Ahlul Bayt, who treat them not nicely and be against them, they couldn't do anything worse than what they did to Ahlul Bayt. He was right. He told the truth. What else could they do? What else they did to the mother Zahra salamu alayha? What else they couldn't do which they did to Imam Ali alayhi salatu wasalam, to Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wasalam, to Imam Hussein in Karbala? What else they could do? And all the way at the time of Jawad al-Imam, Imam Jawad alayhi salatu wasalam, in Qurbah, one of the most innocent in the terms of qareeb person is Imam Jawad alayhi salatu wasalam. Let me tell you what, he's even more qareeb than Imam Hassan alayhi salatu wasalam. Why? Because Imam Hassan, he got poisoned by his wife. But at last minutes of his end of his life, his head was on the lap of Imam Hussein, Zainab Salamun alayha on one corner, Abul Fadl Abbas on one corner. They're doing musibah and azab for Imam Hassan. Imam Jawad alayhi salatu wassalam, he was in a small hujra. Fazl Mal'una gave poison to Imam Jawad. Whenever Imam, he shouted and he was saying, oh, my liver, oh, this poison is killing me. But Faz did not let anyone enter the house and enter the hujra and the room of Imam Jawad. One of these servants and kanis, she said, I heard the voice of Imam Jawad, I felt bad. I grabbed some water. He's saying, I'm thirsty, bring water. I brought some water for him, wanted to enter the room. Mal'una, his wife, Fadl, she stopped me. She said, where are you going? You are not allowed to go give him water. Imam Jawad alone himself in the room while the poison is bringing fire into the livers and the stomach of Imam Jawad. He became shaheed in this situation. Imam Hassan, you had Hussein next to you, cries for you. You have Zainab crying for you. You have all around you. Amma, you said yourself, Ya Hussein, you don't cry. La yawm ka yawmaka ya Aba Abdullah. The way that Abu Abdullah on Karbala, in the desert of Karbala, on the ground, he was thirsty and he called, look what you did. Oh, Ummah of the Prophet, he was thirsty and they killed Hussein while he was thirsty. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Imam Jawad, he was thirsty out of that poison as well. But Imam Jawad, let me tell you something. Although you became shaheed, but you didn't see that what they are doing to your Ahlul Bayt after yourself. You couldn't see what Zainab saw, what Hussein saw. When Hussein was on the ground, this is the wasiyat of Imam Rizad, father of Imam Jawad. Yabna Shabib in kunta bakiyan ala shayfak al-Hussein. If you want to cry for anything, cry for Hussein. Ya Allah, when Imam Hussein on the ground, Ravi said that he was watching the khiyam and the tents of Ahlul Bayt with the corner of his eyes, protecting Ahlul Bayt, seeing his children crying for Hussein. Assalamu alaikum ya Ahl Bayt al-Nubuwwah.
One of these mal'oon, this is my last musibah. He said, I brought water for one of these little girls of Imam Hussein. She got scared, she went back. I said, no, I brought water. She looked at me, grabbed the water, her hand probably shaking. Oh man, I have a question. What is it? When you killed my father Hussein, did you give him water or not? He said, I told her, no, we didn't give him water. She grabbed the water, bowl of water. He ran to us, Qatligah. Oh, Father Hussein, come back, I found water for you. Amu Abbas, come back, I found water for you. ألا لعنة الله على القوم الظالمين وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. السلام عليكم يا أهل بيت النبوة وموضع الرسالة ومعدن الوحي. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم ولن أعداءهم أجمعين. Brothers and sisters, inshallah, if you have any hajat, bring your hajat in your mind, in your hand, in your mind, inshallah. We're gonna, inshallah, ask Allah for the sake of Imam Jawad, inshallah, Jawad al-A'immah, to give us our hajat. Ya, inshallah, all together we pray. يا أبا جعفر يا محمد بن علي أيها التقي الجواد يا ابن رسول الله يا حجة الله على خلقه يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا واستشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا. All together. يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وعجل فرجهم. اللهم عجل وليك الفرج والعافية والناصر ومد في عمره الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بقائه واجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته. يا رحمن يا رحيم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك. Ya Allah, we ask you, بحق الحسين, hasten the dhuhr of our Imam, Imam Mahdi. Give us tawfiq and opportunity to be among the true followers of our Imam. Ya Allah, let us be active in the path of zuhur and inshallah hasten the dhuhr of our Imam. Ya Allah, help our youth, make them successful in dunya wal akhirah. Remove obstacles towards their marriage. Those who have hajat and requests, specifically my brothers and sisters who are hearing and seeing us, بحق Imam Jawad, give them all khair hajat. Those who are under difficulties, problems, troubles all around the world, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, provide opportunities for their freedom right now. Those who are struggling with these conditions, Ya Allah, help them, cure them at this moment. Ya Allah, those they are in the front line, support them and give them long life. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, remove this situation, this bala from the ummah, so inshallah we can go back to our centers, our ibadat fully, inshallah. Again, those who are sick, بحق Imam Jawad, Imam, inshallah, Ra'uf, Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, cure them all at this moment. Those who passed away, send the thawab and reward from our majalis that we're gathering to the soul, inshallah. Rahimallah man yaqra'u al-fatihata ma as-salawat. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
या हुसैन सादात ने मातम का फिर फर्श बिछाया है सादात ने मातम का फिर फर्श बिछाया है गम मौला तकी तेरा गम मौला तकी तेरा कायनात पे छाया है सादात ने मातम का फिर फर्श बिछाया है बचपन में यतीमी का सदमा था सहा तूने बचपन में यतीमी का صدمہ تھا سہا تو نے تجھے زہر جوانی میں، تجھے زہر جوانی میں ظالم نے پلایا ہے، سادات نے ماتم کا پھر فرش بچھایا ہے۔ اے معتصم باللہ لعنت ہو صدا تجھ پر، اے معتصم باللہ لعنت ہو صدا تجھ پر، عصمت کا دیا تو نے، عصمت کا دیا تو نے دھوکے سے بجھایا ہے، سادات نے ماتم کا پھر فرش بچھایا ہے۔ پردیس میں تھے تنہا افسوس تقی مولا، پردیس میں تھے تنہا افسوس تقی مولا، جب وقت شہادت کا، جب وقت شہادت کا مظلوم کے آیا ہے، سادات نے ماتم کا پھر فرش بچھایا ہے۔ زندان میں رو رو کے کہتے تھے تقی مولا، زندان میں رو رو کے کہتے تھے تقی مولا، عابد کی اسیری نے، عابد کی اسیری نے ہائے مجھ کو رلایا ہے، سادات نے ماتم کا پھر فرش بچھایا ہے، سادات نے ماتم کا پھر فرش بچھایا ہے، غم مولا تقی تیرا، غم مولا تقی تیرا کائنات پہ چھایا ہے، سادات نے ماتم کا پھر فرش بچھایا ہے۔ یا حسین۔
در حجره در بسته تنی در تب و تاب است، جان می دهد و تشنه یک جرعه آب است، ناله ها زند کنج حجره، دست و پا زند کنج حجره، چون مار گزیده تنم از کینه بسوزد، از لعل لبم تا جگر و سینه بسوزد، از جفا شده خون دل من، همسرم شده قاتل من، نه مادر و نه خواهر و نه همدم و یاری، تا بر من خسته کند ناله و زاری، ای هم نفس نانجیبم، کف نزن ببین من غریبم، یا محمد بن علي التقي الجواد يا علي بن موسى الرضا 40 سال امام رضا منتظر بود خدا بهش یه جوون داد آی 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 میگن امام رضا خیلی به جواد الائمه علاقه داشت آقا فرمود با برکت تر از این جوان تو اسلام نیومده آی بمیرم برات یا امام رضا نبودی ببینی جواد الائمه تنها در بستن ناله الاتش داد اما کسی به نالش جواب نداد السلام علیک یا محمد بن علي التقي الجواد يا ابن رسول الله يا إمام الرحمة يا سيدنا ومولانا إنا توجهنا استشفعنا وتوسلنا بك إلى الله وقدمناك بين يدي حاجاتنا يا وجيها عند الله اشفع لنا عند الله باسمك العظيم الأعظم جواد الأئمة يا الله 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 يا رحمن يا رحيم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك واكفنا يا قاضي الحاجات ويا كافي المهمات إنك مجيب الدعوات إنك غافر الذنب والخطيئات إنك على كل شيء قدير. حق آقا امام جواد. Let's raise our hands and recite Amma Yajib all together. Bring all the hajjats in your mind. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أمن يجيب المضطر إذا دعاه ويكشف السوء 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 رحم الله من يقرأ الفاتحة مع الصلوات اللهم صل على محمد